Greetings from Tampa, Florida. Alongside Marshall Green, I'm James Bates. So glad to have you with us as we're all set to kick off the 2025 5-on-5 Men's Non-Contact Pro Championship game.
It's going to be a good one, James. Look for YTG to make a lot of highlights on offense, star-studded. And Team Shrooms, they're a good defensive team. They play with a lot of energy, not scared. It's going to be a good one.
And it all starts right now. Say we crown a champion today in Tampa, Florida, huh? When you talk about USA Flag, you're talking the most followed brand in the sport of flag football, who also hosts the largest tournaments on the planet. Today, over 1,200 teams have come from all over the world. In our Men's World Championship division, we started with 34, and now we're down to just 2, and these 2 are pretty darn good, Marshall.
2 of maybe the best teams in the country. Both teams are extremely fast and a lot of explosive players, and there's going to be a lot of highlights. YTG has maybe the best player in the country, and Mark Sexel. He's their quarterback. He can run it, he can throw it. Anytime, anywhere he's on the field, a highlight can happen. For Team Shrooms, they're not scared. They are a defensive-minded team, and they play with a lot of energy. These teams actually have a little bit of history. They met in 2024 at a USA Flag tournament. Shrooms won, and I think YTG is looking for payback.
All right, let's do this, but first things first, let's get it to the stage with Kinsey Wilansky and the crew for more on this matchup.
We are moments away from the men's championship final here in Tampa, Florida, and I have 2 special guests for us today who are going to give us a closer look on each team and some individual players that we're going to look out for today. We have Michael Better. He was on the 2024 national team where they took home the gold, and he will be competing to qualify for the 2028 Olympics. And then we have Nadia Bibbs. Nadia Bibbs, also a gold medalist. She played on the U.S. national team from 2019 to 2022, and now is a U.S. national team scout, scouting women's, men's, and junior. We have 2 teams, YTG and Shrooms. How are you guys feeling? Give me a closer look on each team.
Yeah, well, starting with YTG, I think that when it comes to an explosive team, dynamics, battle-tested, you can't look any further than YTG, right? From their quarterback to their receivers, as well as their defense, right? Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, so YTG, I say they have a 2-headed monster at quarterback. They have Mark Sexel and Darrell Hoosh. Darrell Doucet, everybody calls him Hoosh, though. 2 very dynamic players, and they really get the engine going for YTG.
Yeah, to your point, as they're a 2-headed monster, right? Mm-hmm. They can make all the throws, and the biggest thing about it is that they are very mobile, they're very agile. It's very hard to pull their flag, and once they get going, the entire team moves at their beat, right? They can make the throws, and they're never really too pressured. To apply pressure, that rush is going to have to be next level. Now, for Shrooms, they are carried on the shoulders by Richie Rodriguez. He's their quarterback. The same thing. He's very battle-tested. He keeps his poise. He never seems pressured, no matter whether it's the defense, the rusher. He makes the plays in and out of the pocket.
I'd say for Shrooms, they don't have as many athletes, I'd say, as YTG, but they have very strong chemistry. They've been playing with each other for quite a bit of time, and I think that's what's going to help them succeed. Yeah, so I definitely think in this game it's going to be a shootout. They're such high-power offense teams. Both quarterbacks can score in one play, so it's going to be very dynamic and fun to watch.
Michael, you've played with a lot of these players yourself. I hate to ask, but what is your prediction? Who is going to take the championship trophy?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say, to be quite honest. Just looking at Shrooms went up with a much stronger, wet and dirty team that had current and former U.S. national team players, and they actually came out on top. I would like to say the score was 22-7. Between the 2, I would say that it's going to be a nail-biter. I'm willing to say 27-30 YTG.
I think for me, I would go with YTG as well. They've really been battle-tested this tournament. They've had some really close games that they've had to pull out, and I prefer to go with a team that has been through that and has experienced that already in this tournament.
Thank you guys so much. You guys were incredible. And now we are going to go to our other team members, James and Marshall. They'll take it from here.
I just want a clean game, all right?
Yes, we
Team
will.
Shrooms,
Thank you, Kenzie. We're ready to go. They're ready
It's gonna
to
be
toss the
half.
coin
It's
at
gonna be
midfield.
tails. What is your call, sir? Tails. What did he call? Tails. He called tails.
Tails is the
Tails,
call.
what would you like to do?
Tails is
Defer.
the
Would you
toss.
like to
So
kick the ball? Which way you
Team
want them to go?
Shrooms will defer to the
Turn
second
left.
half.
Turn this way.
Michael
Turn
Rocha
this
out
way.
there on
We've got Shrooms.
defense with his crew to start things off. Well, buckle up. When we return to Tampa, Florida, it's time to get it on in the USA Flag Men's World Championship right after this.
The 2025 USA Flag World Championships on CBS Sports Network are presented by Body Armor and by Optimum Nutrition, helping you build your training regimen on and off the field.
I know I'm ready to go, but first things first, before the action gets underway, here are the rules for USA Flag's 5-on-5 non-contact Men's Pro World Championship game.
Alrighty, the field is 60 yards long and 25 yards wide. Both teams will play two 12-minute halves, and the game clock will run continuously except for the last minute of the game or during a timeout. On offense, both teams start on their own 5-yard line and have 3 plays to cross midfield, and if they do, they get 3 more plays to score. A team receives 6 points for a touchdown and can go for either 1 or 2 points after the score. A quarterback may not run unless the ball has been thrown back, handed, or pitched to them in the backfield, providing they are outside of the no-run zones, which are 5 yards from each line to gain. And on defense, players that rush or blitz the quarterback must be a minimum of 7 yards from the line of scrimmage when the ball is snapped.
I want to say pick whatever, man. Let's have fun with this, dog.
Let's have fun. Isn't that pretty much guaranteed when you've got YTG and Team Shrooms getting ready to go playing for a world championship title? Big Shrooms, big dreams here in Tampa this weekend. 2 colorful squads, that's for sure, the YTG unis. As we take a look at their offense coming out onto the field and their starting 5, brought to you by Optimum Nutrition. Defensively, a look at Team Shrooms. Tyler T.D. Davis, not just a defensive power, but an offensive explosive player as well. And starting from the 5 now, Sexel at quarterback. One of many that can take this ball and throw it around a little bit on YTG. And a chance now to run with the handoff. He does just that, and look at him go to start the game almost all the way up to midfield.
That's how YTG likes to play. They'll have multiple players take the snap, pitch it back to Mark. That way he can run or pass. And really an early lapse in defense for Team Shrooms. If you're going to take down YTG, you have to have the rush figured out. They did not know where to go there. And YTG and Mark, they capitalize on that. Look for them often to have that pitch back or handoff back to Mark.
Able to rush it one more time here as they're behind that checkered line, which is the no-run zone. Still need 2 to cross midfield for a first down. And they'll do just that, a complete ball. This ball down the field to Ricky Collins Jr., and it will be a fresh set of downs.
Fresh set of downs for YTG, and look for Mark to go to Ricky Collins Jr. often today. A 1,000-yard receiver in the CFL. He is an exceptional athlete, one of the best in flag football at that wide receiver spot. I think he's going to make some big plays today.
So this handoff snap goes to Velton Brown, and Velt with a lazy throw to the corner, and it ends up in the hands of T.D. Davis. Tyler Davis with the football. Big interception on the opening drive.
Velt takes the snap under center there, doesn't really know where to go with it, cannot run since he is the first person to touch the ball. He looks to the left to find Mark coming out of the backfield. He's late to get to Nyquan Murray on that front cone, and Tyler T.D. Davis shows off that explosiveness, undercuts it, and the first big play of the game, a turnover forced by Team Shrooms on defense.
Yeah, if you're going to throw the football anywhere on this field with Tyler Davis out there, you better have more zip than that. Here's a guy that can zip it a little bit. Richie Rodriguez right out the box, and it's a big completion all the way across midfield, and a first down to Bracamonte.
Bracamonte, nice play there to get open, got north and south after the catch. This is a huge drive for Team Shrooms. If you're gonna beat YTG, you almost have to score every single offensive possession. Your defense got you a big stop. Now your offense has to capitalize and go paint that scoreboard first.
Richie Rodriguez, a El Paso, Texas product. Born and raised, even played his college ball for the Miners at UTEP. Rush from the outside, that's Turner, almost had him down, and almost a touchdown in the back corner going to TD Davis, but it's broken up. A great play by Dana Taylor.
Dana Tutu Taylor in coverage there, fighting till the end, not trying to end up on a highlight reel, and that's a huge PBU. Quarterback looks to put it in a spot that he thinks only Davis can get it, but Taylor fights till the end. A huge pass breakup, and that's going to bring up a big down here and a big opportunity for YTG to get off the field.
Wow, and he almost had it even with the defense right there, just painted on him. So a second down now and goal. Remember, 3 downs to get a first down across midfield. They did that, but they want 6 points on the board. And here's snap number 2 of 3 down at YTG's end. And this time they get it. Devin Turner pulls both flags. Thank you very much. There's a sack, and it's 3rd down and goal coming up.
You saw the play before. Turner was able to get pressure on Rodriguez. This time he gets home, pulls both flags. Devin Turner is one of the best rushers in flag football, and he's making his mark early on in this World Championship.
There's so much said about an offensive guy changing gears and being tough to tackle. That time it was almost Turner who flipped the script, and he changed gears, stopped, and then turned the motor back on, and the burst to pull the flags of Rodriguez. Goal to go on 3rd down. There's a lateral. And all the way across the field, still alive. Shrooms, oh, and it's picked off. Isaiah Calhoun going back the other way. Wow, big time stop for YTG.
Shrooms trying to play a little bit of backyard football there, as on 3rd and goal. Final down of the series was a little short of the goal line. The ball actually gets intercepted off the pitch by Isaiah Calhoun. And Mark and YTG and their offense will get back on the field as we're tied up at 0 here.
And so here's YTG for the 2nd time. There's Hoosh, Daryl Doucette in the game to hand off to Sexel, who can now run it if he chooses to. Instead, it's right back to Hoosh, a little give and go, and a little dip, and a trip down deep into Team Shrooms territory.
That's just what YTG does. They put a lot of pressure on everybody on defense. You got to be athletic to stay with them, but you also have to have the football IQ. You see Hoosh takes the snap there. Current Team USA flag football quarterback throws it back to Mark. Mark can now run. Hoosh releases out of the backfield. They are tough to stop, man.
Sexel, option to run. He'll do it again, and diving and unable to get into the end zone. How about the effort by Rocha? Michael Rocha still on the ground with Sexel's flag next to him. Hopefully he's okay. What an amazing play to deny a touchdown.
Just a beautiful play. He goes airborne here to pull the flag, and that's really a game-changing play. Glad to see him get up and be healthy.
What an effort by Michael Rocha. Hopefully he'll be back in this football game. Taking a breather right now. Chris Henry will come in for him. So here's a 2nd down. 2nd down that a lot of YTG fans didn't think would even be necessary once Sexel turned north and south. There's Doucette under center. Sexel on the right, quick pitch. Touchdown. Boom, boom, and into the end zone. And Naquan Murray, the former Florida State Seminole. Oh, so drawing first blood against Team Shrooms, and now they'll go for the extra point.
You kind of knew when Hoosh went under center to take the direct snap, he was kind of just going to get it quickly out of his hands. Nyquan Murray just one step, cuts into the slant, beats the man-to-man coverage, and he pitches it to him, and YTG's on the board. These extra points in championship games are so big. They'll go for one.
Number one trying for 1 point and denied. Great job defensively to keep it at 6 points.
You see Ricky Collins there pointing up to the sky saying, Mark, put it up there and let me go get it. Ball was a little low, and a great defensive play by Shrooms to prevent the point after attempt. We'll see if they can come out on offense and answer that scoring drive from YTG.
Get hydrated. We don't want you cramping up, young man. Team Shrooms trailing by 6. USA Flag presents the 2025 Men's World Championship game, brought to you by Body Armor. Hey, I know that dude. Tyreek Hill, world champion, Super Bowl winner, many-time Pro Bowler in the house today, a big supporter and participator of flag football.
He loves it. He's an ambassador for the sport. Big drive here for Shrooms.
Pressure and almost picked off. That's Tay Turner. We've seen Devin Turner time and again applying the pressure on Rodriguez, had a sack, and his brother Tay almost has an interception.
The Turner brothers are making plays here early for YTG in their defense, specifically Devin Turner. His rush, I feel like, is starting to affect Richie Rodriguez a little bit. That's 3 plays now that Turner has gotten on the toes of Rodriguez, affecting the decision-making and the ball placement. Turner is really making an impact here early for this strong defense. Bring up 2nd and long now.
There we go, Rodriguez. There's the pressure from Turner, and Jeff Rice going up, had a paw on it, and actually almost tipped it to Herrera, but falls incomplete, and it's 3rd down.
Shrooms almost gets a lucky bounce there. Rice is able to get his paw on it up there. Really a reckless throw there by Rodriguez, but the tip ball almost lands in the lap of CJ Herrera, but he's unable to haul it in, incomplete. And that brings up a big 3rd and long for Team Shrooms.
Got to get to midfield to stay alive here on this drive.
Maybe you could see Rodriguez try to buy some time to allow his receivers to get downfield.
Oh, and well, this shows you just how big this play is. A timeout called, 1 of 2, and they'll use one right here just to talk this one over, make sure they can get a 1st down.
I love this timeout call by Shrooms. I know it's still early in the game, but you don't want to give the ball back to YTG with them having an opportunity to extend this lead to 2 scores. Got to make sure you're on the same page here and draw up a great play to try to move those chains. TD Davis at the top of the screen. He's their go-to guy.
Bracamonte with the snap to Rodriguez. Here we go, big 3rd down. Pressure from Turner, loses his footing, airs it up for TD, there you go! Hangs on to that one.
Seems like that timeout was worth it.
You think so? Dipping his toe in the water, baby. And TD Davis goes into the pit. What a throw and catch for Team Shrooms.
Rodriguez does an awesome job to buy some extra time, and he throws it up to the heavens. And TD Davis goes up and gets it on the back of Isaiah Calhoun. He dropped the first one early on in the game. He doesn't drop too many, and he secures that one. Shrooms is on the board after a huge pitch and catch from Rodriguez to TD Davis.
Isaiah Calhoun, who has an interception in this game, was defending. And here you go, big extra point coming, and yes, Bracamonte makes it 7, and Team Shrooms is on top.
Extra points are huge in these ball games. comes down always to the end. The score is usually tight. And if you can be successful on those, you're only going to increase the probability to win the ball game. YTG likes to work quick on offense.
Here's Sexel. A little bit of a shake over there on the sidelines. Good job by B.J. Johnson to corral him. B.J. Johnson, an all-conference defensive back at Tarleton State.
Again, you see Mark there take off and run. You're only allowed to run if you are the second person to touch the football. So someone has to take the snap, hand it off, pitch it, or throw it back. They do, giving their dynamic quarterback a chance to make a play with his legs and arm.
Great shot of Michael Rocha right there. Back in the game, he was shaken up earlier. They'll need him if they want to pull off the victory against Sexel and company. Pass is complete and the flag is pulled. Nice job. Jadion High, the former Texas Tech Red Raider, with the catch.
Also, the former Team Shrooms member. He actually used to play for Team Shrooms in a little flag football free agency. Had him put pen to paper to join YTG. Makes a play there against his old squad.
Tall task stopping Mark Sexel in the no-run zone here. They've got to get across midfield, and they will do just that. There's Naquan Murray. First down, and our first flag here of the game. Tyler Davis trying to argue. Little extra contact.
Yeah, that's kind of ticky-tacky to me. A little late, but he pushed him at the hip right about the time his foot hit that white line. Automatic first down, and they'll add 5 more yards to the spot, bringing up 1st and goal.
All right. Chance to run here for Sexel. He'll do that with a little bit of wiggle here and there. B.J. Johnson finally gets his flag right before Sexel can cross the goal line. A couple huge stops by this defense to make it hard on YTG.
YTG will take a timeout here, make sure they got the right personnel in. 2nd and goal here. Big opportunity for both teams. If Shrooms is able to get a stop, they'll continue to hold the lead, and YTG has a chance to take the lead. It'll be in the no-run zone here, so a forward pass will have to be made to advance the ball.
Sexel from under center fakes the handoff to Turner. Back of the end zone. There's Murray one more time. Naquan Murray, touchdown number 2 on the day.
Touchdown number 2 of the day, and how easy was that? Sexel draws up a beautiful play call in that timeout, fakes that handoff underneath, brings the defense down, and he throws a nice little ball over the top to connect with Murray to add 6 more points to the board. Up 5 here, I could see them going for 2 to try to go up by 7. And this will probably be the last play of the half. 2-point tries from 12 out.
I'd like to think, Marshall, anytime you have number 1 with a chance to get his hands on the football, you would like for a run to be an option, and they will do just that. Needing the corner, he gets it. 2 points. Big conversion and a big old leap into the body armor foam pit by Mark Sexel.
Mark doing what Mark does, making plays with his legs, putting a lot of stress on the defense. He gets a lot of credit for his ability to be an athlete, but his high football IQ has always stood out to me. Bleeds the clock, and a touchdown as the buzzer sounds of the first half.
Big 2-point conversion converted because nobody's going to catch him in a race to the corner. Sexel and company on top and feeling pretty good. Just ask their owner and head coach, Paul Namir, who is with Gwen Muller right now.
Coach, what is going to be your messaging to your players going into the second half?
We're going to have to play more aggressive defense, try to get at least a stop. If we can get one more stop in flag football and score, usually the game's pretty much over if we can go up a couple scores.
All right, easier said than done, though. We'll be right back here in Tampa with more halftime activities and, of course, second half action. Back here in Tampa, Florida, as USA Flag presents the 2025 Men's Flag Football World Championships, presented by Body Armor. Half number 1 in the books. We're ready for half number 2, but first let's learn a little bit more about USA Flag.
USA Flag is the nation's largest tournament operator for the sport of flag football. We primarily focus on tournaments for youth and adult. Most brands operate in one or the other. We're one of the few that actually does both. We all played grassroots sports growing up, whether you played soccer, baseball, whatever it would be, basketball. You go to the gym, you play, you go home. I hated that experience. I wanted it to be more fun. I wanted to seamlessly blend an experience of a festival with a sport all at the same time, and that's what we've been trying to create here for our flag football series at USA Flag. The tournament is a whopper. We've got 138 international teams that are playing, over 10,000 athletes. We got 40 states and 13 countries represented at this event.
I'll tell you how I became involved here. I was in San Antonio, Texas last year as a coach and parent of my kid, coming from New York down to Texas to play the World Championships. When I saw what was happening in those fields, and I said, Body Armor needs to be a part of this. Body Armor needs to be a part of this experience. Body Armor needs to partner with USA Flag.
Body Armor is a phenomenal partner. They've really dove in headfirst with the players and supporting their hydration needs among many of the other things they've supported. So I'm really, really grateful for Body Armor to be a partner. They've been very, very gracious in what they've done and very helpful in the maturation of the sport over the last year.
Body Armor really, really believes in inspiring the next generation of athletes, being better than yesterday. What a perfect combination to have the sports drink of the future, the sports drink that has nothing artificial with the organization that is driving massive amounts of growth for the fastest growing sport. This is a sport of the future. So what better way than join forces, not to just be a sponsor of USA Flag, but amplify the sport and make this event as huge as it is right now.
Another thing I'm extremely excited about and proud about is that we're going to be setting a Guinness World Record for the world's largest flag football tournament. We've got 1,288 teams competing and are going to be a part of that world record, so we're making a little bit of history, one event at a time. So we're really excited to be here in Tampa, Florida, setting that world record here at the World Championships.
That's right, we got all you need. You want a medal, you want a trophy, you want a ring. How about a Guinness World Record as we get set to start the second half? GM and head coach of Team Shrooms, Dave Burke, sure hopes it's going back with his team. He's with Gwen Muller right now.
Coach, what do you think is the biggest challenge for your team going into the second half?
Containing Mark, quarterback. He's good. I mean, he's the best in the country when he runs. You see it. Their plays have been off running and scrambling, so we just got to get a good rush on him, and if he breaks free, we got to get his flag.
Berg knows that Mark is one of the best in the country, and so is Shrooms, the brand, probably the leading flag football equipment vendor, from jerseys to flags to poppers to custom flags. They do it all, and he does a lot for the sport. Awesome guy.
Team Shrooms won the toss at the beginning of the game, deferred, and so they will start with the ball here in the second half. And right off the bat, it's Rodriguez to TD Davis. So second down coming up.
I don't know how you do it, but you got to get the ball to TD Davis a little bit more. He's been about the only spark for this offense. He's their most explosive player. Got to get him the football.
Tyler Davis, a PE teacher back at Manor High School. Missouri Valley College, All-American in football and track. They'll keep it short this time. Flag is pulled, and it looks like it will be enough for a first down.
Really a smart veteran defensive play there by Dana Tutu Taylor. He allows the ball carrier to get the first down. That way it is first and goal from midfield. Would have liked to seen CJ Herrera drop that ball short of the line so it could be second and inches and pick up more yards to make it first of three, a little bit shorter, but a veteran play by Dana Tutu Taylor.
You know, you actually saw Herrera try to hit the brakes, but his momentum took him across that line. And interesting strategy, but on the fly, it's easier said than done. First down, right at midfield. Rodriguez lets it go, and nobody in sight wearing the bright yellow uniform. And a chance there maybe for Corey Webb, barbecue chicken, to pick it off, but can't come down with it.
Corey Barbecue Chicken Webb, one of the more talented players in flag football, great offensive player, even better on defense, always trying to be a ball hawk back there. Almost got his hands on that one. A little bit short.
I like the uni. Corey Webb barbecue chicken it's kind of Christmas story-ish. The bunny uniform. And that pink mouthpiece slash pacifier. Second down of 3 for Rodriguez. They got a score! And a little bit too strong for Herrera.
Just missed him. That was a golden opportunity for Shrooms. Herrera gets behind the DB. Rodriguez puts just a little bit too much on him. In games like this, where the margin for error is so small, you gotta hit on those chunk plays. Unable to do so. Now it is 3rd and goal, 3 of 3 from midfield. This is a tough spot for Shrooms. See if they can pull something out of their hat right here.
Richie Rodriguez, 3-time state champion in wrestling back in Texas in his high school days in El Paso, will lateral it across the field. Lucky to keep that one alive. Rocha, then Rocha to Bracamonte. Bracamonte across the field and finally pulled down. That's Hayden Wall who ends up with it. So a great job of covering the entire field, and they get the stop.
Scoring from midfield in one play is one of the hardest things to do in this sport. Great defense there by YTG. I go back to that first down that Team Shrooms picked up. Should have dropped it short line, and they end up turning the ball over on downs, and YTG looking to extend the lead.
So back to YTG.
Hoosh will hand it off to Mark, and he can run, and he will.
Into the hands of Sexel, and one more time. Groundhog Day here in Tampa. When you got a guy that can go like that, you feed him.
Coach Berg of Team Shrooms talked about at halftime trying to find a way to slow down Mark. Didn't look like any change on defense, and it was the same result for YTG. Mark is dynamic, man.
Here with this bunch set, and they'll do the same thing. Again.
Will be Sean Vayard. Handing it back to Mark. He can run. He will, and pick up the first down. And they're in prime scoring territory again.
Quarterbacks can only run when handed or thrown the ball back to them, and that's why they're taking advantage of that rule, and they will use it to move across midfield for a first down.
The clock is starting to bleed in this one, and if you can jump out to a 2-possession lead, that's going to be a tough deficit for Shrooms to overcome.
Leading by 7, trying to add to that score as we near 7.5 minutes left in this World Championship.
Look at him go. Mark makes a man miss, fires, caught, touchdown. Velton Brown in the end zone. And there they go to the Body Armor foam pit to celebrate. YTG starting to pull away in this USA Flag World Championship.
And we've seen what this guy can do with the wheels. And how about the arm? Avoiding the rush of Rocha. And there's Velton Brown.
It's one thing to be able to contain Mark as a runner, but he can still make you miss in the pocket there. Throws a little bit of a hip move at the rusher, buys some time, scans the field. He does such a good job of getting the ball to the open man, and he does there.
Sexel pumps to the left and gets it back to the right. How about the hands? Ricky Collins Jr. extending and pulling it in, so it will be 21-7. A great big 2-touchdown lead for Paul Namir's squad.
Mark looking to the left, wanted to throw the jump ball to Naquan Murray, but just works back to the right, and Ricky Collins Jr. gets open, adds more points to the lead. We'll see if Shrooms can trim that lead when we come back.
Back here in Tampa, ticking down in the second half as we welcome you back to the USA Flag 2025 Men's Flag Football World Championships presented by Body Armor. Now under 6 minutes remaining. Time's a wasting for Team Shrooms. They gotta make something happen. Nice little catch there by Wall. Hayden Wall going up for it and getting a foot down.
Climbing the ladder there to go get that one, a big-bodied target. And you see there, Rodriguez puts it in a spot that only his guy can get it. They got to start creating chunk plays here if they're going to cut into this 2-score lead.
Outstanding performance so far against the defense of YTG. A lot of offensive flash, but the defense has been very solid in making some big plays against Rodriguez and company. Ball is tipped and almost picked once again. I don't think he got it. Corey Webb pleading his case.
I don't think he got it either. Corey Barbecue Chicken Webb loves to try to influence the referees, and that clearly hits the ground there. Shows off some athleticism to make a play, but it was Tyler T.D. Davis that couldn't climb that top shelf and haul that one in. In a game like this, where the score is where it is, you can't leave plays on the field. And look at Corey trying to plead his case to the refs.
Look at that uni. Got all that pink out there. Good job covering, by the way, Isaiah Calhoun earlier on that one, and a flag is pulled by Tyler Davis, who wants a little bit of a hold, but he won't get it.
You can just see the burst there of Davis. Gets the ball, and it's actually going to be called a flag guarding. So they'll move the ball back 5 yards, but it will remain a first down here for Shrooms. So his hand there is blocking the flag. You almost got to raise your arms up to allow the defender to have a clear pathway to pull that flag. He does not do that, and he gets flagged.
Wow, the fake pitch to TD. Tyler Davis sneaking his way up near the goal line and almost slithering in for a touchdown, but instead, here comes down number 2, 2nd and goal.
The athleticism on display there for Davis. He can go 0 to 60 just as fast as anybody in this tournament. Special player, special athlete.
So 2 chances to cut this lead for Rodriguez. Got to get in the end zone, and Bracamonte just too easy, but he lets it go to the ground.
Sometimes those ones where you're wide open are the hardest ones, and the sure-handed Bracamonte drops an easy, wide open touchdown.
This is it. One play right here, 3rd down and goal. Richie Rodriguez and Team Shrooms have to find a way to cross the goal line, and they do. Bracamonte, the other side, this time he hangs on, this time it works, and they cut that YTG lead to a 1-score game. There are now under 3 minutes remaining in this football game. Plenty of time.
Touchdowns do not stop the clock unless we are inside 1 minute in the ball game. I'd really like to see Team Shroom here call a timeout. That way the clock will remain stopped during the point after attempt, and it will not resume until YTG takes their first snap on 1st down.
Oh, wow. Rodriguez trying for the point after. Flag coming out. Corey Webb had a piece of Tyler Davis. Had his hands on his hips, and there's a good look at it. And the clock's still going.
Yeah,
it's
tick,
still
tick,
going.
Tick. Play there by Corey Barbecue Chicken Webb. I don't know if it was on purpose to let the clock continue to run, but it works out. They'll have a 1-point try from half the distance, and they'll pick it up. And now Team Shrooms calls that timeout. I mean, they wasted at least 1 minute on the game clock there, and if you're gonna call a timeout after the PAT, you might as well have just called a timeout right after the touchdown. There's about just under 2 minutes left in this ball game. And at this point, with no timeouts, James, a first down for YTG essentially ends it.
So pressure now on this Team Shrooms defense. They have no choice but to find a way to get a 3-and-out against Mark Sexel and company. Here comes Hoosh, Daryl Doucette off the handoff, running it around. Flag is pulled, clock continues to run.
If this Team Shrooms defense ever thought it was a good time to flex their defensive muscles, it's now. They gotta get off the field to give their offense a chance here with 1:39 and counting.
2 plays to make it happen. Can they stop this potent offense led by quarterback Mark Sexel? Doucette to Sexel, he can run, but chooses to throw it right back to Doucette. Give and go across midfield, and that should do it.
That should about do it. With about 1 minute and 15 seconds left, the clock will stop at 1 minute, and we'll enter a pro clock, but with 25 seconds on each play clock, you can essentially just kneel it down twice, waste a little bit of time on third down, and you're going to walk home as 2025 USA flag world champions.
So there's your stoppage. Essentially the 2-minute warning, but at 1 minute the clock stops, as you mentioned. So fresh set of downs as they cross midfield. So 3 snaps to go, and these 2 flag football powerhouses duking it out here in Tampa today.
An incomplete pass would stop the clock, so look for them to just keep it on the ground, and there he goes. Mark on the ground, making people miss and just seeing that clock get closer and closer to 0.
That's about as good as it gets when you need someone to run around and keep the clock moving. Mark Sexel.
If you just wind this play clock all the way down to 1, you can snap it with 25 seconds in the game, waste a second or 2, and then just snap the ball on third down, and you're going to be champions.
Snap comes on 1. Hoosh handing it off to Sexel. Sexel's flag is pulled right away. That time Xavier Daniels gets in there, and that does it, and YTG knows it. And they show it as they all head down to that Body Armor sports drink foam pit. Boom. Congratulations, YTG. A look at your USA flag 2025 world champion. A hard-fought game for Team Shrooms, and their GM and head coach Dave Berg joins Gwen Muller. Gwen, take it away.
Coach, how do you feel about your team's performance today?
I think they did good. We played them multiple times. We've beat them once on a big game. They're established. They're always in the finals. So I thought we did good. When I said at halftime, we needed to control Mark and not let him scramble. And other than that, we made plays on offense, but we had a hard time controlling him scrambling and getting the yardage. So I think they beat us running the ball with Mark scrambling. So.
They're established, they're always in the finals, and they are your USA flag 2025 world champions. And when we return to Tampa, we'll put the crown on their heads. Stay right there.
The 2025 USA Flag World Championships on CBS Sports Network are presented by Body Armor and by Optimum Nutrition, helping you build your training regimen on and off the field.
Back here in Tampa, Florida, it's time to name our Body Armor sports drink play of the game. Marshall, with all of the plays Mark Sexel made with his legs, we got to go to his arm for this one.
This was the biggest play of the ball game. It put YTG up by 2 scores. Mark shows off the ability to make the rusher miss. He then surveys the field, and he gets the ball to the open player. Really the stamp and the game-changing play.
Let's get it down to Gwen Muller, who's with the owner, Paul Namir.
Here's Coach Paul Nomer to accept the trophy. Congratulations, guys.
What's your name?
The Godfather.
That's right, Gwen. They deserve it. We expected fireworks out of this group, especially on the offensive side, and that's just what we got. As they call the GM and owner, Paul Namir, the Godfather, and hold that beautiful trophy up high. And that's what it's all about. There he is, the Godfather of this championship flag football family. What a day we had here in Tampa. A Guinness World Record setting day, the largest flag football tournament in history. Almost 12,000 people came around, and you were a part of it. Thanks so much for joining us today. For my man, Marshall Green, I'm James Bates. We'll see you next time.